What if I told you that true power isn't in what you say, but in what you don't? It's not a weakness. It's not hesitation. It's a weapon, a force so commanding that it can leave even the boldest person second-guessing themselves. This isn't about fitting in or winning approval. It's about stepping into a space and owning it without lifting a finger. No words, no explanations, just presence. And let me be clear, this kind of presence doesn't happen by accident. It's built, crafted, owned. You want respect, right? Number HaHaHa. Respect is too soft. You want fear. You want to walk into a room and everyone freezes. No words, no smiles, just silence. Let the quiet suffocate them. My dear, here's the truth. Words are cheap. Actions? Sure, they're louder, but silence, that's deafening. Silence is the scream that echoes in their heads long after you're gone. And that's what you need. An unshakable presence that leaves them unsettled. People talk too much. They fill the air with noise to prove something, to show they matter. But every word they spit out is a sign of weakness, a desperate plea for validation. They don't even realize how pathetic it looks. But you'll be different. You'll stand there without a word, blank expression, unreadable. You'll let them drown in their own thoughts, filling in the blanks with their fears and insecurities. That's the power you want, the kind that doesn't need noise to make a statement. Let's clear something up right now. You think you need tricks, strategies, or clever lines to get people to take you seriously. Wrong. What you need is already inside you. But first, you have to unlearn the lies you've been fed your whole life. They told you that talking things out, explaining yourself, and asking for respect was the way forward. But let's be honest, how's that working for you? You've been explaining yourself for years, and where has it gotten you? Nowhere. That's because words don't build power. They dismantle it. The more you speak, the more you give away. You hand them your thoughts, your fears, your plans, and they'll use every word against you. Silence, though. Silence gives them nothing. It leaves them guessing, wondering, and overthinking. And that's when you've already won. You ever felt that tension in a room when no one's speaking? That invisible weight pressing down? That's the effect you want to create. Make the air heavier just by standing there. Make them question everything they thought they knew about you, and never ever let them feel comfortable. Here's something you need to understand. People don't actually care about you. They'll act like they do. They'll smile, shake your hand, maybe even say they've got your back. But the moment you're out of sight, you're out of mind. Good. Use that. Stop chasing their approval. Stop trying to fit into their world. The second you stop needing them is the second they'll start fearing you. You've been playing by their rules, following their script, hoping they'll reward you for being the nice guy. But this world isn't fair, and it doesn't hand out trophies for effort. It rewards those who take what they want without asking. And that's where silence becomes your weapon. When you stop talking, when you stop explaining yourself, you become a mystery. People fear what they can't figure out. The less you say, the more they obsess. What's he thinking? What's he planning? The questions eat at them. Think about it. How many times have you said something you regret? How many times have you explained yourself only to feel weaker afterward? Words can be twisted, misunderstood, thrown back at you. But silence can't be used against you. It leaves them with nothing. Now you might be wondering, if I don't speak, how will people know who I am? How will they respect me? And that's where most people get it wrong. They think they have to shout to be heard, to fight for attention. But the truth is, the quieter you are, the louder your presence becomes. Walk into a room and don't say a word. Hold your ground. Watch how their eyes keep drifting back to you. That's not an accident. That's control. It's not just about being quiet. It's about what that quiet means. It means you don't need to prove yourself. You don't care what they think. Their opinions, irrelevant. Their judgments, meaningless. And that scares them. Because most people need attention like air. They can't live without it. But you're above that. And when they can't figure you out, they'll fall apart. They'll talk more, fidget more, try harder to impress you. But the harder they try, the weaker they look. You see, silence forces people to face themselves. It's a mirror that reflects their fears and insecurities back at them. And the longer you hold it, the more it unravels them. You won't need to raise your voice. You won't need to fight. Your presence alone will do the work. The moment you walk out, they'll still be talking about you. Not because of what you said, but because of what you didn't say. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. This isn't easy. It takes discipline. It takes strength. You'll feel the urge to speak up, to defend yourself, to react. But you need to fight that urge. Because every time you stay silent, you're building power. And every time they push harder for a reaction, they're showing how desperate they are. Let them unravel while you stay still, unshaken. Here's the reality. People fear what they can't control, and they can't control someone who doesn't react. When they can't read you, they'll start to panic. They'll throw insults, threats, even try to provoke you. But you're untouchable. You don't need to prove yourself. You don't need their validation. Your silence is proof enough, and eventually, they'll break. Not you, but make no mistake. Silence isn't weakness. That's where most people get it wrong. They think not speaking up means backing down. They're wrong. Silence, is strategy. It's choosing your battles and controlling the narrative without ever saying a word. It's standing firm while the world around you spirals out of control. It's letting their noise bounce off you while you stay grounded. Because silence doesn't fade, it lingers. It sticks in their minds and keeps them awake at night. And that's where your power comes from. When you're quiet, they don't know what you're thinking. They don't know what you're planning. And that uncertainty, that fear of the unknown, it's stronger than any punch you could throw. Let them talk. Let them fill the air with meaningless words. Let them try to tear you down. Meanwhile, you'll stand there, calm, still, unreadable, and they'll hate it. Because silence forces them to battle themselves. It makes them question their worth, their strength, their control. And that's a fight they'll never win. You see, in this world, the loudest voice is usually the weakest. The one who talks the most, brags the most, demands the most attention. They're the ones filled with doubt. But the one who stands quietly, without a word, that's the one they fear. That's the one who holds the real power. So stop explaining. Stop reacting. Stop trying to prove anything to anyone. Let your silence do the talking. Let it become the thing they fear most. Because when they finally realize they can't break you, can't control you, and can't predict you, that's when you win.